Hi, welcome back to the Bluestone Villa, but not to the Bluestone Villa. We have come away for a couple of days in Whitstable, so I thought I would bring you with us. We are staying at a very sweet little cottage, which is actually owned by James's mum, and she rents it out as a holiday let. It's quite a new venture for her, and we are the first people to fully stay in it. So yeah, that's really, really exciting. So Whitstable is about an hour from us in Tunbridge Wells, and we have come down here for 2 nights. It's Sunday the 1st of August and we're leaving again on Tuesday, so it's about lunchtime. We've just got here. Weather is a bit iffy, torrential rain at points. I've just bought all my summer dresses because I'm you know, positive, optimistic mind in place. But yeah, we've just got to the house to kind of dump our stuff, and I'm going to go back downstairs now. And I think James and I are probably going to go out for a stroll and go and get a drink, and maybe something to eat as well. So yeah, welcome to Whitstable. So this is where we're staying, and this is going to be our room for the next 2 nights. This lovely Victorian style bed, all the blue and white stripes, very seaside-y. I love this kind of little locker bedside table as well. And then we've got a lovely industrial kind of unit to hang your clothes, some beach towels, very kind of ship port style mirror. And yeah, this is the room. The floorboards are painted white, which we know we love. A little pink rug. And then that's the little kind of courtyard area out back. And then you look onto others at the back there as well. We've got totally drenched, and now we've got some fish and chips and some wine. We're going to sit and enjoy this after we've had a couple of drinks in the pub. Leave that there a second. I'm worried I'm a bit drunk already, if I'm honest.
Chip pork.
Thanks. Cheers, my dears. I kid you not, I went out to get milk and I got absolutely drenched, so I put my pyjamas on, making a cup of tea. The heavens have opened, it's flooding down the street. It is a great British seaside holiday for sure. We are just off to get some breakfast. We ate too much yesterday, so we couldn't enjoy our dinner as much as we would have liked. Such pretty shops here. I'm going to wander around the shops today. We're going to go and sit out on the beach and have some drinks. Everything we couldn't do yesterday because of the torrential rain. feeling? I would quite like to live in one of these old places. I like the little mice that had the holding the thing. Oh, look at the sausage dog. Oh yeah, can we see how much the cocktail size? I don't know if I like it in the pink. It would be great if they had a green. Hi guys, I've rearranged this camera about 8 million times because I would have liked to maybe have sat downstairs at the dining room table to do my makeup. But James is watching TV down there, so I don't think it's very fair to insist that he moves. So yeah, in order to film this properly and to be at the right height, I don't really have anything to prop you up apart from my very small little tripod. So this is the best I can do, so that you're kind of hanging off of the industrial style hanging unit, hence why you can see my dress here. I'm trying to get rid of the light sheen behind me, but if I turn the light off, it is just too dark. But I thought I would get ready with you. We are going out for our second night here in Whitstable. It's actually our last night in Whitstable as well. So we're only here for 2 nights. Sadly, we probably could have been here for 3 because James's mum, who we are staying at her like holiday little cottage here, actually texted us on Saturday to say that they were leaving about lunchtime and we could come up whenever we wanted. But I had made plans, plus I had a bunch of work that I hadn't finished on Friday that I needed to basically finish off because I've actually got the rest of this week off. And then on top of that, we were still doing like laundry and stuff to come away with us. Classic. So yeah, so essentially we just were like, we were never going to make it out on Saturday in like a reasonably composed manner. So we just got rid of that idea and came on Sunday as originally planned. Obviously I did do some filming yesterday. We got here about lunchtime and the heavens just opened. It was a really iffy day. It was like 1 minute it was kind of okay, and then the next minute it just, as I said, heavens opened. Let me just grab my makeup bag. So heavens opened and yeah, it was just not great. In fact, at one point it was so torrential, James went back to go and get us umbrellas and we were still soaked through afterwards. So it wasn't really like sit on the beach, have fish and chips on the beach, kind of drink wine on the beach kind of weather. So we ended up going to a pub kind of like on the high street here called, I want to say it's like the Navy Sailor. So first of all, I'm just gonna, sorry, just to interrupt my story here, I'm gonna use my Pixie Rose Ceramide Cream. This is my absolute favourite to use as my moisturiser. I hate this packaging. This packaging they actually used to do, and they seemed to change it to regular packaging that doesn't do this, where it like crinkles up. I just don't feel like you can get it all out, especially even when you get down to the very end. They seem to have reverted to it for some reason, which is rather irritating. But I really like this because it's like really dewy and stuff like that. I'm not going to commentate too much about like what makeup I'm doing, but I will just let you know like what products I'm using. But yeah, so we went to, it was like something like the Navy Sailor or something like that. It was a really nice club on the inside, very cozy, felt very old as well. And yeah, they had complimentary seafood on the counter, which James just couldn't deal with. He was freaked out by that, and I think in a lot of places I probably would be, but you're at Whitstable, the locals were having it. I feel like it was probably pretty safe, and we are in COVID times, so the barmaid did do it for us. But yes, we went there and we had a couple of drinks, some crisps. I had some complimentary seafood, which, as I said, James was like totally utterly freaked out by and thought I was going to get sick by, but hello, I'm still here. And then we literally just went and got some chips and came back to the house, which was delicious, but a massive mistake. We got them from Aussie's Fish Bar, which comes highly recommended, and James's mum also recommends. But yeah, we just basically ate too much. It was like obviously chips, very stodgy. And we then just pretty much chilled out at the house. We are really central, so we are just off of Harbour Street. So if you know Whitstable, really, really central. If you don't know Whitstable, like really great location. That isn't, like another great location that isn't obviously right on the beach, which I can imagine probably some of those places to stay are really expensive. Obviously, I am staying for free here. And yeah, so then, by the way, I usually let my moisturiser just kind of sit on my skin for a little bit. Just because I like to do that. I just like to let it like soak in a little bit. Yeah, so we just chilled out here. We had like tea, watched TV. We actually had a little bit of a snooze on the sofa, if I'm honest. I didn't feel guilty about that. A, because I am on holiday, and B, because, as I said, weather was really temperamental yesterday, and yeah, even when I went to pop out and go and get some milk for us, the heavens opened just as I left and I got soaked again. So with an umbrella, so yeah, I did not feel bad for just kind of chilling out at the house. Next up, I am using Charlotte Tilbury's, don't know whether that's going to focus, Magic Foundation. This is actually new to me. I usually use the, I forget what it's called, but it's the one that's kind of like lighter coverage. That's the one I loved, but post us starting to come out of lockdown and shops reopening, when I went to Phoenix to go and get it, they didn't have any, so that's why I ended up with this. I don't know if I love this. The other one is obviously, as I said, like lighter coverage. It's meant to give you like a really dewy complexion, and that's the kind of look I really, really like. I am sometimes keen on having like a heavier coverage foundation, maybe for a night out. I haven't done that in ages, night out or heavier coverage foundation. But yeah, this is just a bit too matte for me. What I'm going to mix it with in a second doesn't make it matte. But in general, it's a bit too drying for me personally, so I probably won't repurchase. But if you're into kind of like a matte foundation, you'll probably quite like it. I'm obviously also at the end of my tethers with this as well, so I'm just kind of swatching some on the back of my hand. Yes, so then last night we were thinking of going to the Lobster Shack, which is on the East Quay here, and it's owned by the Whitstable Oyster Company, which when I was a little girl and I used to come to Whitstable, they had like one restaurant, and then over the years they've just got more and more, and we always joke that they're like the Whitstable Mafia because they own everything. They actually don't own everything, but they own a fair bit. But yeah, I read some reviews and I wasn't sure. It was like every other review was like there'd be one good one and then there'd be one really poor one, and a few of them were saying things like, oh, frozen chips, and you have to order on an app, which is like, that's no big deal, but apparently they charge you to order on the app, even if like you're ordering a drink separately from then your meal and stuff like that. It just sounded like it was just going to be a little bit of an underwhelming experience for a night out. And with the weather being so temperamental, I was also really concerned because whilst obviously, yes, within walking distance, it is a much longer walk than obviously just the bottom of the street, which there are plenty of other restaurants. And I kind of just thought, if the weather tips it down again, do I really want to be walking in that? So yeah, I managed to bag the last table at a restaurant called Birdie's, which again, really, really close by to us. And it's like a French bistro seafood restaurant, really, really traditional kind of French bistro style. Really felt like you were abroad. Next up, I'm using the Tan Luxe Super Gloss, like drops. I have never used these before, ever. I bought them in Space NK the other week. You do not need to keep the box, but I just think the box is really pretty, which is why I've kept it in it. And they come like this, and you just need a few drops. In the day at the moment, I'm just using this on top of my moisturizer, but tonight I'm going to mix it in with my foundation just to give myself a little bit more coverage. So you just give it a bit of a shake and then put some drops in with it. Yeah, so we went to Birdie's and it was delicious. I had half a lobster and mussels with like a saffron cream and a saffron rice. I'll just push that everywhere. James had beef Wellington, which was what I actually really fancied, but I just felt like I should order lobster because of where I was, and I felt like if we both had beef Wellington, it was overkill. And yeah, we were just so full. That's kind of what it does to the foundation. We were just kind of so full that we did order dessert, but we didn't finish it. This isn't going to give me like huge amounts of coverage. I would actually prefer more coverage tonight, or in general, but the drops are like quite greasy is the wrong word, but like a bit more oily, so it does give like a nice look, but just not as like heavy coverage as I might like. But I'm also at the end of my bottle of foundation, so that is also having an impact. But yeah, so we went there, it was delicious, and yeah, really enjoyed it, apart from the fact that obviously we had eaten too much in general, so everything was quite rich, so we just struggled. Yeah. And then today, the weather was so much better, although it did get cloudier as the day went on, and we got up and went for breakfast at a place called Elliot's, which was really, really lovely. We went for a stroll along the front, and then we went to the Neptune, which is on the beachfront, is quite famous. We sat out and had a drink there. I had an Aperol Spritz, which was, I didn't mind paying £10, but I suppose it is quite pricey. She did warn me. So obviously other people think it's pricey as well. So we had that, and then we took a stroll around some shops, and we went to another pub near the house and had a drink there, and then we went and got an ice cream. I'm actually just going to add a little bit of the foundation on top, because as I said, I do want to just get a bit more of coverage. And even out my skin tone, because I can get like, I've got quite uneven coloured skin. Yeah, so that was it. And then we came back and I've just been watching Netflix and chilling. And I tell you what, today we didn't have like a lunch because of what happened yesterday, but I am absolutely, I've been like obsessively desperate to eat. I'm eating too much at the moment in general, but I'm just so hungry now. Actually, now I've kind of moved past the point of hunger, and our table's not booked until 8:45. So what we're doing is we're getting ready. James is already ready. He's downstairs waiting for me. We are going to a pub near the house called The Fountain, and it's a really, I mean, I'm sure like tourists go to it as well, but it's a couple of streets back from like Harbour Street, and I think it's quite loved with the locals and stuff, and it's just really, really pretty. Yeah, so then we're going to Samphire this evening. Samphire is just absolutely delicious. I've not been for a couple of years. I've only ever been once, and inside the decor is kind of very kind of West Village, New York style, which if you know me, you'll know that that is kind of like my vibe, and very excited by that. Yeah, so anyway, menu's really fresh. Again, it's like bistro style food. It's all like local and seasonal, or mostly local and seasonal based, and they just have some really interesting flavors. So next I'm just going to go with my bronzer. I've just got a really cheap one that I picked up ages ago before I got a new job, and it is Sun Bronze. It's gonna be like a Rimmel or something, but I'm quite frankly have no idea, because that's what the packaging looks like. But yeah, it's like the actual name of the brand has come off, I think. So yeah, I like to do this before I put on my concealer, just to carry on just warming up my skin tone a little bit. Yeah, so we are off there this evening. I'm probably going to be too done up, and James is like, you don't need to probably be that dressed up, but I kind of feel like I'm on holiday. Yeah, and then tomorrow I think we're going to stick around in the morning, probably head back in the afternoon. Yeah, we can't stay any longer because James's mum rents, or is about to start renting this out, and she had people coming later this week, so she needs to get it all sorted for them. But it's been a really lovely stay. We've been like her trial guests, because she bought this place and like has renovated it, and then they've stayed here quite a few times, obviously, as themselves, because it's their house, and that's like their intention, to like mostly use it themselves, but they will be renting it out as well on occasions. So yeah, so I like to do that, and then I go in with my concealer. So at the moment I am using, actually it's the one I've been using quite a lot, like as in for like the last year or so. It's a NARS one. I always do this one upside down. It's NARS, and it is in Creme Brulee. What I tend to do is I tend to put it, sorry, I'm looking in a mirror and also in the thing, but I hope the lighting is okay for this. It probably, it's getting darker, it could probably do with being a bit better. I'd put it a bit underneath my Molly Campsey, who I follow on YouTube and Instagram actually. She's a lot of fun to follow. She does like really super close up like makeup videos, so you can see like the texture of her skin, and I thought it was like such a unique idea. I'm not stealing it, but just whilst I'm getting a bit closer, just so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So I look like a mad person. I don't think it's as bad as, like, you know when you see some people do like contouring. It's not really contouring. I'm just trying to like, I don't know. By the way, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is just how I do my makeup. That's the disclaimer that everyone uses, isn't it? And then I'm actually using this brush at the moment. I have no idea what one it is. It's one I've just had in my makeup bag for ages. I don't tend to use brushes. I'm much of the like of basically using your hands to warm up your makeup and put your makeup on. I used to work for a makeup company many years ago, and a famous makeup artist told me that that's how she did it. So I kind of feel like that person does know better than me. I basically just like to give it a bit of like airbrush it out, basically. Airbrush my skin out is probably the best way of putting it. And sometimes like I feel like I've gone a bit overkill with my bronzer on my nose there for a second, so I just do that. So yeah, we're heading out to Samphire tonight. And yeah, tomorrow, sorry, so we'll just stick around for the morning. Might go for breakfast or lunch or something somewhere, and then head back. And then we've got the rest of the week off, which is super nice, so we've got a bit of a staycation at home. But we've really enjoyed our time in Whitstable. You'll have to let me know if you have been before, or if it's somewhere you'd like to go. It's very kind of, if you're in the States or the US, I guess it's very kind of Cape Cod-like. And actually there's a TV show that I think has been on in the US, and the last ever episode, I can't remember what the TV show is called, so I will put it up here if I can remember. They filmed Whitstable as if it was Cape Cod, and they actually filmed the Pantiles in Tunbridge Wells, where we live, as Boston. Whitstable looked great as Cape Cod, and I think you could, like, it could pass for it. The Pantiles, Pantoz is beautiful, but in my mind, it did not pass as Boston. Having lived just outside Boston for several months and been going there since I was about 11 years old, I can firmly say no Boston I know. After I've done that, I tend to then like go in just to tidy up my eyebrows. My eyebrows are such a mess at the moment in general because I am really kind of, well, I haven't had them done since COVID started. I just didn't like the idea of being that close to somebody that's going to be really close to my face whilst they're doing it. And to be honest, I gave myself a thing that like once I'd had my second vax and the period of time after my second vax had happened, I might go and I just ran out of storage. Yes, so now I'm at that stage where I can get my eyebrows done, and to be honest, I'm still not vibing. I just don't like the idea of somebody being really super close to my face, and the Delta variant is sounding like it's rampant. So you know what, I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time, but my eyebrows just desperately do need to be done. You can't probably see so much, but like I've not been great at actually like plucking them underneath here either. I'm now going to go in with this, which is like a cream, and it's Eyes to Mesmerize by Charlotte Tilbury. I don't think you can see, but that's the kind of packaging it comes in, and it's like a goldy bronzy cream. Let's see, do I want to do that? I should really not bother making that much of an effort. I'm pretty sure I could be just really casual, but you know when like this is going to be my only holiday this year, like that's not in my house, and so I kind of just think I want to do something with it. I need to check. I've got 2 mascaras on the go, and I can't remember which one's the new one half the time. So then I use the Dior, the original Dior show. I have been using this since I was like late teens, early 20s, and whenever I've tried to switch up and use a different brand, both high street and more expensive, whenever I then use this again, I'm like, no, this is the one. During the day, I would usually just do the top, but I quite like of an evening to do top and bottom. And this is going to make me sound like an absolute mad person, but I basically count to 20 on the top and count to 10 on the bottom to get the most amount of coverage that I want to on it. And then I do 10 on the bottom. I'm doing the obligatory face, doing mascara. There we go. It kind of makes my eyelashes really quite like 60s, like twiggy 60s style in a way, like I always think. So now I wouldn't do a hell of a lot more, to be honest, with my face at the moment. I haven't actually got a lot of, actually I've got tons of makeup, but I haven't got a lot of like some of the stuff I would usually use, like highlighter and stuff like that. I've run out and I've just not bought any. This is COVID, as they say. So now I'm just going to go in on the lips. I have been using a lot recently, which I purchased recently, Baume de Rose. I don't know if it comes in different shades or anything, but I've got this one. So I've been using that. It's quite nice. It looks great with a tan. I think I am going to use Baume de Rose and go for a more subtle look tonight. I'm wearing a like lilac, pastel lilac dress. So, oh, I've stained it a little bit, but it's not too bad. And it's got the most delicate, lovely rose scent to it. And then sometimes I might work my bronzer up a little bit more, because then my concealer can sometimes blend it out even more. The lighting's not great, guys, sorry. But yeah. I should really be contouring my cheeks, because where the last couple of years I've put on some weight, my face at the moment is quite round. Like it's like one shape rather than having really any definition. So yeah, so I like to look like I've kind of caught the sun. But as I said, I've not got huge amounts of coverage because you can kind of see it's like pinky around there. I don't know if they call that rosacea. But yes, right. I love you and leave you there. And I will show you my finished look when I'm ready to, yeah, go to dinner. I just tried to do a mirror shot, but the mirror is like split in half. And whilst I appreciate I am bigger than I used to be with this dress on and that mirror, it's not looking great. But I'm wearing my sleeper dress, not the cheapest of dresses, but it's beautiful quality. It's a linen, it's a light lilac, and yeah, this is my makeup. It's a dewy, glowy look, not too much. Yeah, probably one of my like lighter, more, I mean, it's not natural, but a naturally look. But yeah, now we're ready to go out and enjoy. Hi guys, so I'm actually back at the Bluestone Villa now. I ran out of storage. I didn't film any more of like kind of the very end of our trip to Whitstable, but I thought I would show you very quickly before I ran off this video some of the kind of vintage brocante type kind of home finds I picked up in Whitstable actually a couple of weeks before this trip. So we went for a day trip a couple of weeks before, and yeah, picked up a few bits and pieces for the home. Thought you might like to see those. I thought I would do more shopping like that whilst we were there, and we did go in some of the shops, but to be honest, yeah, I didn't buy anything. And actually the quirky little place that I picked up these bits and pieces from wasn't open when I was there, but there are tons of kind of like beautiful independent stores in Whitstable and lots of kind of like vintage or antique style shops as well. But I thought I would just quickly show you just a few items I got. They were all absolute bargains, which is a bonus, right? So first of all, I got this bottle here. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's got kind of grapes embossed into it. I thought this was really, really pretty, and I really love using kind of bottles, as we can see here, for things like candles or flowers and what have you. And so I thought actually this would be perfect for the dining room because obviously Bollinger and grapes, I thought that one made a lot of sense. I haven't actually obviously got anything in it yet, but I'm thinking probably I would use this for flowers rather than candles. And then the other one is this one over here, which is the type of kind of vessel that I see a lot on kind of, oh God, you can see how much I need to dust this mirror, on things like eBay or in brocante stores or little vintage stores and what have you. And yeah, it says, I think it says Schulbred and Company. I don't know whether Stiff and Lambeth is what it says on the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, I really loved it. I always love little things like this, but I've never actually picked one up myself before. So picked it up. Again, I've got some lavender in it at the moment. That is exactly what I had planned to use it for flowers. I also love to use kind of milk bottles on my stairs with flowers in, so I thought this would be a great one to have on the stairs as well if I wanted to decorate them. But yeah, I thought that was gorgeous. And I think both of those together, I think this might have been like £5 or £7. And I think this was only £2 or £3, to be honest. Oh no, that was £5 as well. I think they were both £5 each. And then another item, forgive where it is, because I don't know actually where I'm going to put this yet, but it was this. So it's probably, I don't know if it's really fully clear how pretty this is, but it's kind of a little rack. I don't know what you would put on this usually, but I bought this because we've got absolutely fantastic storage in our kitchen, but we're just terrible at actually using the storage in the right way. So I've got nowhere at the moment to put kind of fruit or veg or kind of like eggs outside of the fridge or cupboards. Sorry, inside the fridge or cupboards. So I thought this was a good solution. I'm not sure where exactly in the kitchen this is going to end up in the long run, but this is kind of where it is at the moment. And yeah, I've just got some eggs on top and then some fruit and veg in the others. And then my final and biggest bargain, you're gonna see all of all of the mess of our dining room reflected in this, was this mirror. So actually it says it was £12, but she offered it to me for £10. I would have paid the 12. but she bargained with me too soon. It's kind of got this brass detail along here, which is quite cool, and then it's got this kind of wood effect. I actually don't like this, but I was thinking that I could paint this or get some of like rub and buff in brass, and I could rub and buff this. I didn't really have like a decided kind of place for this, but I was thinking it could go in our hallway because we do want a mirror for there and we haven't got one yet. But yeah, it's quite big, and it's actually really heavy, so I feel like pretty brilliant that I managed to pick it up for £10. So that's it. Those are my little bits and pieces I picked up. I also picked up another glass bottle, a bit like the one I got on my fireplace, but it had embossed in it Whitstable mineral water, and I actually gave that to James's mum for her little cottage as like a little gift. But yeah, those are the things I picked up. That was our kind of couple of days away in a little Victorian seaside cottage in Whitstable. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.